What's that, Skip? Shauno's talking about SuperCoach again. Let's go. G'day everybody, it's Shauno again, and I'm back with some more SuperCoach content. Today we're going to be doing our Team Reveal January update. I've got a few changes since that my Christmas edition team, so I thought I'd jump on and make a video and show you guys what I've done. Now, before we get on to it, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, please leave me a like and leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think of this current team. Also, we've started a Discord channel. I'm going to leave a link down below, so anyone wants to talk about SuperCoach, have a chat, join that Discord, leave me a message. And also, I've got a section called a Post My Team here. So if you post your team there, what we're going to do, I'll get back to you and tell you what I think of the team, but also we'll do a live video in the next couple of weeks. I love the live videos and chatting to everyone out there in real time. And so, yeah, if you leave your team in that section that says post your team here, we'll put your team up on the screen and we'll have a chat about it live. And if you are around, you can come and have a chat to me about it, or otherwise you could watch the video at a later date. Anyway, let's get on to it with our Team Reveal January update. All right, as you can see, we haven't changed the rookies at all again, just like the last one. These rookies, they will change. I'll go through them very, very quickly when we get to them, but I don't think we need to go into them too much because they're all going to change anyway. So our number one defender is one that not a lot of people are picking, and I think he's going to be a little bit of a point of difference, and we kind of explained why in the last video. Our number one pick and defender is Jack Sinclair. Now, if you didn't watch my last video, we crunched the stats and we saw that with Nas's move to the midfield, Jack Sinclair scoring really boomed. He really benefits from Nas being in the midfield. He means he's the main man back there in defence. And I think out of, I think it was like 6 games towards the end of the season, in 5 of them, he scored over 120, and I think the other one he scored 90, and that was once Nas moved to the midfield. So I think he could be a good pick there, and yes, he might come down, but I think he's a really good chance of being in the top 6 defenders at the end of the season. So, and he's a little bit cheaper than Nas. So Nas, who knows, moving to the midfield, I think they might try and tag him, as hard as that's probably going to be. They might try it, and also, he doesn't have that distributor role. He's not taking kick-in, so maybe his score won't be as huge as we all hope. And I also noticed that he needs to kick goals to get those really, really huge scores in the midfield. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll go down a bit and pick him up. I still think we're all going to need him at the end of the season. So if you're going to pick him, now, that seems fine by me. And he should get DPP, dual position status, after round 6. Normally, I think it is. So I understand completely why people picking him. He still might be in my team at the beginning of the season, but I just like those stats that I saw on Sinclair. All right, so the next one is also this one a lot of people are going to have. Connor Rosie, we saw his move to the back line last year. He's done really well back there. Worst case scenario, he goes back in the midfield and is a on the ball midfielder. So, I think most people, or a lot of people, are going to have him. Plus, they have an awesome fixture at the beginning of the season, Port Adelaide. So, great, we'll lock him in. And there's no early buy. In this video, we're going to definitely take into account the buys, both the early and the mid-season buys. So, Rosie has no early buy. So, that's good. Sinclair does have an early buy. Okay, so the next one. Now, I think we might have had McKercher here at the beginning last time, but this time there's been some rumours out there that McKercher has now been training with the midfields. So I don't really like that. I think he really showed what he can do when he went to that back line and played the distributor role. So the fact that he's going to play the midfield, I just don't have the confidence with him. So, and there's also another reason I'm not going to pick him, but we'll go through that in a second. So we're going to pick another Port Adelaide gentleman instead, Miles Bergman. Now, again, he's rumoured to be moving into the midfield. So we went through and did his scores. If you haven't seen my other video, the mid-price backman, go and check that out. I go through I go through McKercher, I go through Bergman, I go through Nick Newman, and a few others, and check out what I thought, what I came to my conclusions. I really dove into them deep with looking at their stats, and I think Bergman came out when he moved to the midfield, he was averaging over 100. So that and the fact that he'll probably get DPP, dual position status, as well, makes him a pretty good pick to me. Now, I'm not picking him because I think he's going to make a lot of money. At best, he probably gets to 550, but he could be a stepping stone to one of those big guys like Whitfield or, Lockie Ash or Nas, So that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that he can stay there for a while, get me around 100, and hopefully bump him up to a good guy, or to a really good guy further down the season. And hey, if he turns into a keeper, that's awesome. Now in this next position, really this is the one. So instead of McKercher, Nick Newman, I think out of the three, Bergman, McKercher, or Nick Newman, I like Nick Newman the best. He does have injury worries, but the buys and the fact that he's not, we know his position. There's no rumor about him moving to the back line. We know Nick Newman is the backline player. So if he can stay on the field, I think there's an upside there. I think he could even be a keeper. Last time he played that role, he had some huge scores of 140 and 150. So that's why I've got Nick Newman there. If he's there in round one and he's still definitely playing that role, he's going to probably be in my team. So now a little bit of a chat now about why I like Nick Newman too a little bit better. If we look at the buy, so Nick Newman has an early buy. Thank you very much to whoever made this infographic. If you would like a copy of this infographic, go to my Discord, join my Discord. If you have any problems with my Discord link, just let me know in comments and I'll send you a new one. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. Anyway, so he's in this round 2 buy. So in theory, you could actually not start him and have a look at him, but the thing I'm more worried about is this round 12 buy. Now, you see Port Adelaide's in this buy, and so is North. Now, I've already got a few of those players, and you'll see as I go on with my team, I get quite a few more of them. So you really need to be aware this is going to be a nasty buy. There's lots of players from this buy that you want. Adelaide, Gold Coast, North, Port. Gold Coast have all the good midfielders like Rao and Anderson. Adelaide, you've got Jordan Dawson. You've got lots of players in the Kangaroos we're looking at. You've got Sherry, Tristan Sherry, you've got Harry Sheasel, and Port Adelaide, I've already got locked away. Well, not locked away, but I've already got in my team at the moment, Rosie and Bergman. So all from that buy, and it's the first buy, which is a pain. So you can't really get past that buy and then upgrade to get through it. If you want to get past this buy, you can buy in some of these players and get past it. You're going to have to make sure you don't have too many players on this buy. So I'm taking that into account in this video. And so when you come to the midfielders, so quick, Kitty Coleman, if he's playing, he's locked in my team. He was another one I did in the mid-price video. I talked about him. I don't really regard him as a mid-pricer though. He's more like a cheap rookie, almost, I won't say fallen primo, but he can score good scores. He did have a series of games where he scored, a few hundreds, and I think he can be anywhere between an 80 to 100 player. And if he averages 90 at 230k, that's brilliant. I'll take that every day of the week. Josh Lindsay, who knows if he gets a game? Hopefully he does. Jai Sarong, same. Threadgold, I saw a video of somebody saying that they think he's in the best team in the back line for North. So if he plays, he's a nice, cheap rookie. So we move to the midfield, and I think the number one pick on almost most people's teams in the midfield is Zach Butters. All right, now as we talked about, he's another one on that round 12 buy. So if we have a keeping count of the premium or mid prices we have on the round 12 buy, we already have 3. So the player after that, obviously, Zach Butters. Do I say more? He's an absolute legend. He's going to absolutely kill it. They've got a great fixture, and there's no early buy. He does have that round 12 buy, but he doesn't have an early buy. So fair enough, he's locked in. Then the rest of my midfield, it's going to be a little bit value-ish. I got a feeling I might have even had Bont in before. I'd love to get Bont in, but it's just a bit too expensive for me to get in, I think. So, all right, I'm going to put in Sarong as my number 2. I think there's a bit of upside there. I think last season, he had a good season, but the season before he had an awesome season. So if you go back to that season before and have an even better season, I think that could be good. And I think another man we're going to talk about in a sec might even help him. So the next one is one that, again, I did a video about this and it took me by surprise. And I think I talked myself into the pick. LDU. Now, a lot of you are probably going to be a bit shocked about this pick. And if you want the stats that I dug up, go back and check out my other video. I'll even leave a link down below on my player spotlight on LDU. But since Harry Sheezel moved to the midfield and George Warsaw plays when the two are Wardlaw, when George Wardlaw plays. So when the three of them are in the midfield, the LDU scores explode. So, I think it's the case of Sheezel taking some of the attention off him and then becoming like the number one man, which everyone wants to tag and, pay attention to, which kind of frees LDU up. Also, LDU is in his absolute peak at, I believe he's 26 years old, right around there. But like I said, if you want to know the stats why I'm picking him, go back and check the other video. So he's in the team. Again, though, he's another one of those round 12 buys. Now we've got 4 of them. So, there's only so many you can have. Now, the next one, another value pick, Jack Steele. Now, I think this pick can go both ways, but I think at 5'10", I think there's some value there, and I think he's going to be the number one man. Is he going to be a keeper? I mean, I'm saying that he could be, but there's no guarantees. So I'm picking LDU, hoping that he's going to be a keeper. Jack Steele, I'm hoping he is, but he might not be. I might have to jump him up to a Bont or something. But if he comes out and scores well, fantastic. That's going to be really good. And at 5'10", I don't see too many other midfielders around this price. And I've got to feel this is where I'm trying to save my money. It's kind of in the midfield. So with talking about saving some money, now I've got the 2 mid prices that a lot of people talking about. Hayden Young, I think he could definitely be a keeper. We've seen what he can do. This man is an absolute gun and can produce really big scores. And if he can keep his body right, I think he's going to be very, very good for our teams. Like I said, I think he can be a keeper. So, and the next one, this one I'm a lot more iffy about. I've still got Darcy Parish in the team. Now, this could go either way. He's been very injury prone and he hasn't really done much for the last 2 seasons. But I think the upside, if he gets on the field and he gets that midfield bull role and he gets enough time on ground, I know Essendon have got a few players going through there now doing that. So they'll have Merritt, they'll have Cadwell, and they'll have him. I think they even re-signed Setterfield. I'm not too sure about that. Let me know if that's correct. That might be wrong. But so they've got quite a few guys going through that midfield now. And so I don't know how much of it he's going to get, but if he does get that full on-the-ball time, inside ball midfield role, I think he could have, a decent start to the season. He only has to have 6 games, play about 6 games. That'll be enough money for it to go up. So you can jump him up to a primo. If he stay in the park between 6 to 8 games, hopefully to the buys, then that way is going to be, very good. If this doesn't work out, I'll probably end up dropping him down to like a high price rookie, a 200k rookie, like a Zeke from the Zeke guy from Golden Coast or Dersma from West Coast, or any other rookie that looks really good in round 0. If some rookie comes out, smashes 100, well, you're going to want that rookie. So he could end up in that place. Essendon do have the early buy. They don't have an early buy. So you're not going to get a good look of him, which is unfortunate. I wouldn't mind having a look of him before I lock him in my team. So you're going to have to keep an eye on the preseason games to see if you think he's going to play or not. Anyways, for the rucks, I think my ruck choices are going to be Mr. Sherry, Tristan Sherry. I think he is going to be awesome this year. As rucks go, I think he's the one that I don't think the new rules will affect him too much, and I think he's still got potential to have an awesome season. So I'm not too worried about that ruck. I am worried about he's another one on that round 12 bye. So we're starting to rack them up, aren't we, guys and girls out there? We're starting to rack up these round 12 buys, and it starts to worry me a little bit. And the other one, well, I'm just picking Max Gawn. A couple of seasons back, I didn't pick him. He came out. He hurt me. He hurt me bad. Scored 150 every week. Everybody else had him captain. I didn't. Last year, I learnt my lesson. I picked him, and he came out and he scored 100, big scores for me every week. And it got me off to a blinder at the beginning of the season and put me ahead of a lot of other players snapping up his captain scores. So I don't think I can fade him. Yes, the new rules might affect him, but I don't know by how much. The only other man I would think about here instead of him, which I kind of like, is Tim English. Now, there's a reason if we talk about why, I don't want Tim English, is because he's another one with a tricky buy. If we have a look at the buys again, Bulldogs, St Kilda, Melbourne, all have this round 16 buys. I'm pretty sure 12 and 16 are going to be the toughest buys for people. So like Bulldogs, you like Bont. If you had English, you've got English there. If you've got, Libba or Richards, a lot of people like Richards. St Kilda, you could potentially want to have Nass. You're going to have, you want Flanders, you want Sinclair. Melbourne, like I said, so we don't have... you wouldn't have Gawn if you were in English instead, but I've still got Steele. And I mean, Geelong, you've got Bailey Smith, you've got Max Holmes. So there's a lot of players in that round 16 bye that you probably want in your team at the end of the season, but you can't get them until after the 16 bye because, it's going to be trouble. Those two, I figure. The rest, I think you can deal with. I don't think each of these rounds has a team that's not very SuperCoach relevant. Like I don't think Richmond is that SuperCoach relevant for premiums. So this is a good time after this round to pick up some GWS players. Carlton, I can't see too many real significant players. Collingwood, you might have Cameron Dacos. Dockers have got a few from Brayshaw, Young, Sarong, maybe Luke Jackson. And Hawthorn, not too many premium ones you've got to worry about. Eagles, there's going to be hardly any premiums you're going to have to worry about. Swans, maybe Goulden and Heaney are the ones you're kind of looking at. Essendon, we talk Parrish, Cadwell, Merritt, but there's again not too many premiums. And Brisbane obviously have quite a lot of premiums. You can all their midfielders, the McCluggages and the Lockie Neals and the Dunkleys of the world. So I still think round 12 and round 16 are going to be the most trouble, and that's why I've made my team the way looking into those. So for forwards, now Harry Sheasel. Now, if we're keeping count for that round 12 bye, that's 6 now, which is one more than I would really like. I think 5, considering it'll be best 18, 5 is the most I really want from that round out, but maybe I can get around with 6. So we'll come back to that in just a second. So Harry Sheasel, there's a really good chance he's going to be number 1 forward easily, you would think. Could be 10 or 20 points above the next forward. Then we did mention him, another one of the round 16 bye and St Kilda player, so you can't have too many of those on the early bye either, which is the round 4 bye where it'll be GWS and St Kilda. So I've only got 2 of those at the moment, which is fine. And then here, I was kind of keen on Sam Draper from Brisbane, and I still am reasonably keen on him. But the only thing is, I just don't know coming off his injury, if he's going to play the solo ruck. I got a bad feeling that he's going to be, him and Darcy Fort are going to share the ruck duties, at least while he gets back into it. And, you know, if I saw that he was a solo ruck and he was the only one picked, I would definitely consider it. But since I'm just not sure on him, I'll go the cheaper option. Also a risky option with Treloar. I think Treloar has a great upside if he can keep his body on the field. Again, though, we really don't know what's going on with him. We don't even really know. Yes, we assume he'll play midfield, but Dogs have a stacked midfield of the Bont, the Richards, Libba. How much midfield, you know, can he actually play? How many minutes is he going to get? He is getting older. His body hasn't held up the last few years. So, you know, I think it's a very risky pick. And we'll have to see. At least Bulldogs do play early at round 0, so we will get a look at him and see how he looks and give an idea of how he fits in that Bulldogs team. Now, we didn't really talk much about the rookies. Sharp and Smith at the moment are probably locks, considering they get named. Brody, Rashenko, and Carmichael on my defence here, on my midfield bench. Could possibly change. White for a dual position player who I can use as a captain loophole. Down here in the forward line, you got Philippou. Hopefully he has a good season. Reedy, I'm hoping. A lot of people are saying that they think he could become the main ruck after a while. His stats in the waffle are really good. Now, I don't know how they rate Pitnett above him for the starters, or they're going to see how it goes, or they're going to play them both together. Really not too sure how it's going to go, but hopefully he gets the number 1 ruck role after a while. And yeah, like I said, his stats in the waffle are really good. And Lombard, who knows? Marshall, rumours are playing back. Maybe he gets that's a really good thing and he gets to play. And Robertson, we don't know if he's playing or not, but we kind of hope he does. And Draper, well, he was a sub quite a few times, almost every game he played last year. So we're hoping he's going to get a bit more of a run of it as well. So that is the team crew. Like you can see, a few changes, not a lot of changes, but a few changes. I will zoom out if you like. So some people like to see the whole team on one screen. There you go. So there's the entire team. Now, thank you everybody for watching this video. You know I love to make these videos for you. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the team down below in the comments section. I would also really like it if you could subscribe, so please do that for me now. And like the video if you've liked the video. Don't forget, if you make a copy of your team and you put it in my Discord channel called Post Your Team Here, I will get back to you and let you know what I think of your team. And we'll also have a live video where we go live on YouTube and we talk about anybody's team who's put them in that section. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all very soon. Take it away, Skip.